Uh, hey guys, it's been a while. A lot has kinda happened since the last video was uploaded, wait, 4 months ago? Yeah, sorry for the long delay with this video, especially given that I've usually been pretty quick to churn out a video after the results for the round's release. But anyways, I want less rambling for this video, and more relevant discussion, so let's just hop straight into it. The prompt for this round was... oh yeah, prompt changed. The new prompt for this round was, come up with an alternate use for a food item. Out of the remaining 972 contestants, 830 submitted a response, making for a turnout rate of roughly 85.4%. The top 42 contestants gained a double response prize for EWOW 11, 43rd to 423rd stayed where they were, barring life decay, and 424th and below lost a life. It's worth noting, since there was some confusion, somewhat amongst other documenters, life decay takes effect after the results of a round. So, for example, if a contestant had 4 lives, but lost one due to low placement, they would not be subject to losing another life to life decay, since they'd be under the threshold for life decay to impact them after the round. However, they wouldn't receive the bonus response compensation from losing that life. Hope that cleared things up for you, despite having been several months since the mechanic was introduced, and a whole other round of EWOW coming and going since. I remember the brainstorming process for this prompt fairly vividly, despite how long it's been since, and looking back in retrospect, I'm actually pretty proud of a lot of the ideas I came up with. If there was a round where I could have submitted 2 responses, this would have been the one. This is also, by consequence, the round where I most wish I submitted something else other than what I actually submitted. Speaking of which, the response I ended up submitting was, websites use cookies to chip away your unwanted search suggestions. I capitalized the chip here because I thought that would make it more clear that it was supposed to be a pun on chocolate chips, though I don't know how well that pun lands regardless, as I was relying on it to do the heavy lifting, and the rest of this response is sort of plain otherwise, which has been a weakness of my responses that I've never really fixed as the competition grew stronger. I've just been a bit too keen on playing it safe, in my opinion. But anyways, the only thing that matters is what the voters thought, and with my response, I ended up placing 527th out of 830 contestants, with a raw score of 45.81%, standard deviation of 30.72%, received 41 votes, and only outplaced 36.5% of other contestants, and ended up losing my final life, as I was eliminated from EWOW. Jeez, fun way to end a year. I think a tragic irony in this is that I feel like I was one of the biggest critics of the initial version of the life decay system. However, had it remained unchanged, I actually would have survived this round, as I just barely placed above the initial 33% threshold for life loss. So anyways, here's why the initial life decay system was actually great. My final placement was 752nd out of 16,607 contestants. That's not a bad run. I ended up outplacing 96.25% of our contestants overall, and only got beat by 2 of the AIs, who have both since perished. I didn't accomplish my goal of being one of, if not the last documenter standing. I think there were still 5 left after EWOW 10, but I'm still overall happy with my performance. I want this ending to be a bit retrospective on the journey overall. I started getting randomly hooked on 12 back in late 2015 to early 2016, having no idea of what the OSC even was, and it's still not really being a huge part of my life to this day, but I do know some things. It was honestly a miracle that I even ended up getting into EWOW in the first place, as I'd only heard about it via a tweet from Carrie about it, and seeing as I was obsessed with 12 back in my childhood, I had always dreamed about getting a chance to participate in a full-scale version of this sort of camp myself. So thank you to Carrie and the whole EWOW team for making that happen to allow me to have that chance. I had come across EWOW documentaries randomly, probably because my YouTube recommended I realized I had an unhealthy obsession with this camp, and that's how I got the inspiration to start my own series. I'd like to also give thanks to my main inspirations to start doing this in Northeast Benefactor, Quirky Burger, and Disquisite, along with anyone else who ended up documenting their journeys as well. It was cool to have this small sense of community for a bit. Actively participating in mini trials as well was pretty fun, though the updates on these camps were admittedly pretty slow for my liking. However, it got to a point where this camp was just taking up too much of my headspace, and it got to a point where I just crashed for a bit. The reason this episode took so long for me to even get started was because I just wasn't motivated to make it in the slightest, despite knowing it could have just been done quickly, and I would have been done with the series. I also just never had this feeling of really feeling like I fit, whether it be due to my lack of interest in the OSC comparative to most of the audience for a camp like this, probably being the oldest documenter by a good bit, and also having other interests I initially started this channel to talk about, but EWOW just didn't really fit in with them. I definitely don't regret entering the campers during the series, or anything I did while actively posting and or participating within the community, but I just feel like it's the right time for me to step back. I wish everyone who sees this luck, whether it be continuing to participate in EWOW, do mini trials, or whatever you choose to do in the future. I may pop up from time to time, whether it be in other Documentaries videos in the future, or for EWOW voting, but I'll definitely be taking a back seat and pushing focus back to my main channel for now. I will not be continuing to participate in any of the mini trials I competed in, as even occasionally running a second channel and putting focus on trying to keep up with those camps, on top of all the general burnout I felt from real world stuff, has just consistently slowed me down when it comes to working on making videos. In a way, I feel like this was the perfect time for my elimination to come. I'm sorry that this retrospection journey was a bit of a bummer, but I just wanted to be transparent about what I'm going to be doing now and why this video took so long for me to make. Anyways, with that out of the way, thank you for watching, and there is no next time. I don't have a new prompt to respond to. So I'll end by saying I wish luck to everyone still in the competition, especially the remaining Documentaries, and I'll see you guys in the EWOW Afterlife. Catch you on the flip side. Well, at least we can find out what the EWOW Afterlife is like. What is that? Is that the first episode of my documentation series? Oh yeah, we're not dead, we just need to be reread.